Hi Flosstube, it's Keely at Cakes and Stitches. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a really long time since I recorded. I think my last video was the 8th of September and we are now on Saturday the 18th of October. So it's been way over a month since I last recorded. So thank you for coming back if you are sticking with me despite the long break. I really appreciate it, and welcome if there is anyone new joining us today as well. It's been a busy few weeks, hence why I've not been on here. I've had a couple of my days off where I thought I'd be on my own and able to record, and then things have happened and it's just not worked out. But today I have just one of my children at home. He is on strict instructions to be quiet and leave us to it, so hopefully we will be able to get on with it and get this done this week. I have got quite a lot of projects to show you. I've been a bit flitty the last few weeks with what I've been stitching. I haven't really stuck to any particular plans or goals, so I have got quite a few projects to show you. There are a few new starts in there. Don't think I've got any finishes this time around, but I have got an FFO to share with you and a previous FFO to share with you as well. So I think we'll start with those and then get into what I've been doing this month. So my newest FFO is this one. So this is a pattern by Lauren at Flossabilities. Hopefully that's not glaring too much for you. So it's her autumn pattern. I stitched this with Chinese Lantern, I believe it's called, by Cottage Garden Threads, and Acorn by Weeks Dye Works. And this is just finished in a frame that I got from Amazon. I thought the brown worked perfectly. It's not finished very well, as you can see. I've just bunged it in there because I wanted it up on display for the autumn season. But I think it looks fabulous, and I finished this one quite a long time ago, and I haven't necessarily felt the draw to do anymore, but now that I've got this in a frame and it's up on my mantelpiece in the front room, I think actually I would like to do the other seasonal ones and be swapping them out each season. So I'll be having a little bit of a look soon to decide which season I'm going to do next. I'm thinking possibly summer, from the point of view that will give me a decent amount of time to get it done and have it up ready for next year. But yeah, I think it's beautiful. Really happy with the finish, and I'm glad I did the two different colours. I think it works really well. So yeah, it looks good, and I'm really happy to have that up at the moment. The other FFO, I have a previous FFO which is also up at the moment, is this one. So hopefully you will recognise this from last time, because this is my stitch of the pattern that I was giving away in my competition last time. And I will do the winner of that competition a little bit later in the video. So this is a pattern by Yasmin's Made with Love. It is called Halloween Folk Bird. So he is also up in my front room at the moment. And even though he's a Halloween pattern, I think he's good for all of autumn, because apart from the October 31st, I think he's more autumnal than Halloweeny. So he'll be up for probably all of this month and all of next month as well as my Flossabilities pattern. So yeah, he's gorgeous too, and also again just a cheap supermarket frame. So those are my two FFOs, and now let's get on to my stitching. I do need to flip my pile over because I forgot to do that when I brought it up. So as usual, I'm going to go through in the order that I've worked on things. That doesn't mean to say that the first early couple of things I've show you I haven't worked on again since. It's just going through my journal. These are the things that I have touched, and I've just realised I've left my journal and my notes downstairs, so we're winging it a little bit today, but that's okay. So straight after finishing my video last time, I got on to stitching this. So this is Quick Stitch Dahlia or Dahlia by Heaven and Earth Designs, which I'm stitching for my daughter, and I've promised will be done, framed, hung before her 10th birthday in November, and I am getting dangerously close. So in my notes that I've just written, I believe it's 810 stitches maybe outstanding. So I'm leaving her in the frame because we are getting very close to getting finished. In fact, if I held her back here, you probably wouldn't even notice that she's not finished. So we have just got a little bit down here to do, a little block, and then we've just got scattered stitches around here, a few little bits of hair. But yeah, she's looking gorgeous. I'm so pleased with her. Some of my stitches are a little bit messy, because obviously they're pretty cramped in there. It's a 25 count and we're stitching 1/1 full cross. But I think once it's in a frame up on the wall, no one's going to notice. And I'm thinking probably, obviously this needs to be washed to get rid of the easy grid markings, and I'm thinking maybe the washing will help to fluff up some of the fibres and even things out a bit as well, hopefully. The needle minder here I showed you last time is something I won from lovely Charlie Feathers, and I will be looking for another dragonfly project to put that on as soon as this one is finished. And I do have one in mind, but I've not purchased it yet, so we'll save that for another time. But yeah, she's looking brilliant, and she will be finished by the end of October. Not by the birthday, by the end of October. She's finishing early, so I've got plenty of time to get her framed. Okay, my next one to show you, I did actually lose. When I was grabbing all my stuff to come and show you, couldn't find this one at all, because I've currently got several projects in certain project bags, and this one was hiding, but luckily I did find it. So this is another Yasmin's Made with Love pattern. Just fold that over actually, because you don't need to see that. There we go. So you can see that I've now reached this corner. I've got to get that border around the corner, but I've got almost the full width of the project now. I've done a lot of work on the apples in the middle. So this is my football stitching piece. So whenever our family's team plays, we take their stats, convert them into a number of stitches. I have fallen a bit behind with that challenge this month because I have just been kind of doing what I want to do and not sticking to goals and stuff. But the team have got a game on today. My eldest son is there watching it, so I will get the stats later and get some stitches in this. This is at 36.27% if I remember correctly. So it's going really well. And this needle minder is from Denkai Designs. It says slightly bitter, which people who know me will probably agree with sometimes. This is being stitched with, I brought the threads with me this time. I don't think I had them with me last time. Classic Colourworks Ribbon Red. Can't see it with my jumper there. So really nice variegated red from bright to quite dark, and that's coming out nicely. I'm not always doing one cross at a time. Sometimes I am doing a little run of stitches, but I think we're still getting good variegation on that. I think I said before, this, I think when I measured it, it was coming out at an 18 count, but it's not Aida. I'm not sure what this fabric is, but it's quite nice to stitch on, and it works well with the bright red. So that's good. Let's have a mouthful of drink. Okay, I'll just get my tablet on because for some of the projects I've got coming up, I don't have printed cover photos. So I've taken some screenshots off of people's websites so that I can show you what the finished item will look like. So this one, my next one, is a little way down because I did this last time. Oh, and actually, let me show you that quickly. That's what, the one I've just shown you, that's what that will look like when it's finished. Sorry about the glare, I know this is not the ideal way to show things. So my next project is Emerald City by Our Forest Embroidery. This is a free chart on their website, and it's part of a stitch along run by Jen at Jen's Stitchy Corner. I am miles behind, but that's fine. I'm not too worried. It will happen when it happens. So this time around I have stitched this cyclone or tornado next to the little house. Can't remember what the thread is. I think it was a Weeks Dye Works, probably called Smoke or something like that. Got my little cotton and clay needle minder, and this is on a 16 count Aida that I dyed myself. And I spoke about it a couple of videos ago that I was a little bit unsure about the colour. So far I think it's working well. I'm quite happy with it. Not sure how it's going to be when we get further up here. We've got the big Emerald City, you know, the building from the Wizard of Oz. So I'm going to have to do a bit of a floss toss then, I think, to see how the greens will look on it and maybe change those up a bit. But for the time being, I'm quite happy with that. I think it's looking nice. So next, I think we've got Dorothy standing here with Toto, and then a bit of yellow brick road. So next time I pick this up, we'll get Dorothy done. At the very least, a bit of yellow brick road, if not the dog as well. So yeah, it's looking lovely. That only came out for one day this time. I just sat and stitched the cyclone and then left it. Okay, next one I picked up, and again, this only came out for maybe 1 or 2 sessions, not very long, was this one. So this, oh, can we get rid of that glare? This is 22 Balloons by Barbara Anna. So I started this earlier this year with Laura at Cotton and Clay. Her YouTube channel is Butterfly Stitches 83. I think it was April we started this. I didn't get very far. I love it, but as you all know, we get distracted quite quickly by new and shiny things. So this is also hand dyed fabric, also 16 count Aida. I'm going to fold it over because you don't need to see loads of empty fabric. So this is where we are now. So this time when I picked it up, I finished the sun and I put in this little hot air balloon, and then discovered that this sun is about 4 stitches too low, if I remember correctly. So it's in the wrong place, which is very annoying. I am absolutely not going to be unpicking it and doing it again. So I'm just going to have to fudge a little bit around here, try not to count from the sun. I think there are some trees below here, so I'm probably just going to have to cut them short. I'm sure when it's finished no one's going to notice, so I'm not going to worry myself about it. I'm certainly not going to sit and unpick all of that. But yeah, gorgeous. I love the colours. I think the fabric colour that I got works brilliantly with it. I have got another Cotton and Clay needle minder, nice little cloud. I think that's very appropriate. So I think this one I've got no firm plans for. I've got no intended finish time. I am just stitching on it when I feel like it and just putting 1 or 2 motifs in at a time, and a hot air balloon here, a little building there, and it can take as long as it takes. But yeah, that's really nice. I love the colours. Okay, what have we got next? Right, next is a new start. So also Barbara Anna, actually. Barbara Anna has started a new stitch along called Seasons Dreamers Sow. Excuse me. So she's releasing 4 patterns on her Ko-fi shop. I think they're released once every 2 weeks. We've had 3 of them now, 1 more to go, which may be this week, maybe next week. And on the day they're released, they are reduced in price, and they stay at that reduced price until the next one gets released. So I'm buying them as they get released, even though I'm not keeping up with the stitching of them. So the first one she released was Spring. Let me just show you what that looks like when it's done. I wonder if I can, oh, that might be better for this one. So that's Spring when she's finished. Isn't she beautiful? So pretty. Lovely colours. I think she's gorgeous. So yeah, I've started that. This is also on 16 count Aida. Having said to you all last time that I'm not liking stitching on Aida anymore, I seem to be stitching on Aida all the time. There you go. So let's bring her nice and close. So as you can see, I have done most of her face, a fair bit of her hair so far, and this is a 16 count raw Aida by Zweigart. There you go. I haven't got my glasses or my lenses with me today, so I can't really see what you can see. I hope I'm showing you these okay. And she is in this little bag that I bought on my holiday. So this reminds me of being on holiday, which is lovely, when I was in Cos earlier this year. And I'm going to do all 4 of them on this same fabric. So I've got a pack in here where it's all cut into the 4 pieces. I'm not sure about the colours. She may have said on her Instagram, I'm not sure now, whether there's like a lot of crossover between the colours. Obviously I've kitted this up with all the colours. I'm hoping that lots of the colours used in this will be used in the next pattern, so I don't have to keep buying loads and loads of threads, but we'll find out. I'm not going to start the next one until that one's finished, so I don't need to worry about that for a while. Okay, I have another new start after that. I had one day where I did 2 new starts. And this one was a D-stash. So it was being sold on Facebook, and very fortunately the person selling it was living just 10 minutes drive away from where I live. So I went and picked it up. It cost me a tenner. I think I looked on Amazon and a couple of other places. It's a dimensions kit, and they were selling for like £36 to £38. So I thought I could not resist at that price. So again, lots of glare, I'm sorry. So it's a Dimensions Gold Collection kit. It's called Japanese Garden. I don't think it's got the year on it. They do sometimes, don't they, Dimensions kits? I can't see the year on it. As I say, it's definitely available for sale still. Amazon have definitely got it, and a couple of other places. So I'm using all the kit materials. It's a bit of a mess in there. Using all the kit materials. This has only come out twice. It came out the day I started it, and then I spent another bit of time on it about a week later. So let me fold this fabric. The piece of fabric's huge, and I've only done a tiny little bit in the corner. And I've got a hanging thread, I apologise. So that's how far we've got. Clearly can't see what that is at the moment. It is just lots of blobs of colour, but I'm sure you'll agree they are very pretty colours. I already made a mistake on it. I made a mistake on it with the first thread. So this blue here should be 10th stitch, and I did full cross. Again, I'm not pulling it out. I don't think it's such a massive piece. I don't think that's going to matter really very much in the long run. I seem to remember, and I could be wrong, but I seem to remember Lindsay at Blushing Pink Stitches saying that with a Dimensions kit, if you email Dimensions, they will send you a PDF of the pattern. I could have completely got that wrong. I could have dreamed it. I don't know. But I'm sure that's what she said. And this is, I mean, you can see it's full coverage. It is enormous. You can see from the piece of fabric, it is enormous. Stitching this from the paper pattern is really bloody hard. Not gonna lie, really bloody hard. I think it'll get easier when I'm out of this blossomy bit up here, but it's going to take me a long time to get out of that blossomy bit up there. So I have emailed Dimensions. I've emailed them twice now, and it was probably 3 weeks ago I started this. So I emailed them the day I started it. I emailed them the following week when I had another go at it, and they haven't even replied to me, let alone sent me a PDF. So if anyone's got any ideas about how you can get a PDF of a Dimensions pattern, or some smart way of stitching from a Dimensions paper pattern, I'd be really interested to know, because it is such a beautiful piece. I really want to stitch it, but given my last 2 stitching sessions on it, I mean, it doesn't draw me to it because it feels really hard, and it's going to take forever, literally forever. So if anyone's got any good ideas, please let me know. I'd be very grateful. Okay, so that's not all the new starts, but we had a little break from new starts for a while after that, and when we have one of my favourites. So let me show you the pattern first of all. So you'll be very familiar with this one by now. It is Spring on Lock Lane by the Old Barn Stitching Company. I started this at the beginning of January with Sally at Flossie Sews and Grows for her Best of British sale. And I have been doing, a section a month. So I broke it up into sections, like that's 1, 2, 3, those 2 together 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I expected this middle bit to take a few months to complete, and my goal with this is to have it finished by the end of the year. So I completed my section for this month. This is it in its entirety. It is gorgeous. I say it every time I see you, I know, but the colours in this are right up my street. I love it so much. This is one I'm definitely going to consider getting professionally framed once it's done, because I just think it's gorgeous. It deserves decent framing, not to be bunged in something out of Amazon like I did with my my one I showed you earlier. So I've worked on excuse me, this section this time, this little corner bit, and I put a little bit more in on the house. So in theory, in November I should be doing no, sorry, that was September I did that. So in theory in October I should be doing either this section here or the section like the mirror image there, but I decided not to work on this in October because I'm really trying hard to get Dahlia finished, and I think if I get Dahlia finished this month, then Spring on Lock Lane can become a bit of a focus piece for November, kind of going for a bit of a as close as possible to a finish. I can get at least 2 sections done in November. Those 2 bottom sections, which are like a reflection of this top section, I could easily get them done in November if I'm not doing Dahlia. So this one's away for the time being, waiting for Dahlia to finish, and then I'll crack back on with it. My needle minder is from Maloka Designs. Thought a bunny was appropriate for spring. So yeah, love that. It will come out again next month and get some love, but for October it's having a little break. Okay, my next one is one that, if I'm honest, I'm not particularly fussed about, but I'm going to finish it because I'm so far into it now. Let me show you the finished piece actually first. So this is from Pinker and Pumpkin Blogspot. It's Dorothy May's Summer House. That's what it should look like when it's finished. I started this one absolutely ages ago, like well over a year ago. Mama Loves You GB was having a sale for these houses, and I jumped in and then didn't get very far. So this is on 14 count tea-dyed Aida, which is what the lady who does the blog uses for her models. I didn't bother looking for the called for threads. I just went for colours I had in stash that were similar. So I've done loads and loads of work on the house this time around, and I've noticed, and I don't know how I've done it. Hang on a minute. What did I? I thought I'd made a mistake on those 2 pots either side of the house last time I was doing it, but I'm wondering if it's just because the plant makes that one look different, because now I'm looking at it, they look the same. So I don't know. If I have made a mistake again, I'm not unpicking it. So next time I get this out, I'll try and finish that house, maybe put the plant in here. It's got a couple of little birds on the roof, a little basket on the roof. But it's pretty close, this one. Shouldn't take too much longer if I just get on with it. Same as everything. Just get on with it, Keely. You'll get it done. Yeah, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I might make it into a project bag or something. But not one of my favourites, but it's all right. And I will get it finished. I do struggle with not finishing things. I'm a bit of a completionist. I think once I've started things, I do like to finish them. But I have... having watched Adelaide Stitches recently, I think the video that I'm talking about was maybe August or September. She UFO'd a few things, and I have UFO'd a couple of things in the last month or 2 because my whip numbers was getting higher and higher and higher, and there were some things that I just didn't really want to work on. So it's only 2 or 3 I think that I've UFO'd, but I have managed to I haven't got rid of them. I've just managed to put them aside and say we're not going to count them as a whip for a while. And maybe one day when my whip numbers go down, if that ever happens, I might reconsider starting up with them again. I might not, I don't know, but I'm trying not to feel the guilt about not working on them, because at the end of the day it's supposed to be fun, isn't it? So there's no point doing things we don't enjoy. Okay, this is my next new start. So this is by Jardin Privé. Can't actually remember the name of the pattern, but as you can see, she is a witch with some Quaker motifs around her, a bit of alphabet around her. This pattern comes in two different formats. So you've got this one that I'm showing you, which is black and grey, and then you've got a black and orange version. I'm doing the black and orange version because I thought it'd be an autumnal witch then rather than a Halloweeny witch, and I can keep it up a bit longer. I kind of feel like we spend such a long time doing these stitches. To stitch something you can only have up for a couple of weeks seems insane to me. So I've gone for the choice that means I can have it out for a bit longer. So this one's still in its nudge because I'm stitching on this regularly at the moment. This is where I am at. So with this one, what I'm doing, Adelaide Stitches, who I just mentioned, she is doing a series of videos called 31 Days of Halloween Stitching. So whenever I'm watching her video, I'm stitching on this piece. And obviously they're daily vlogs that she's doing. You know, they're like less than 20 minutes each. So it's not getting a huge amount of stitching at a time, but it just means it's plodding along and we're getting a little bit of progress quite regularly. And I'm really enjoying stitching this. I think it's beautiful. This is, again, a 16 count Aida. It's a 16 count Aida show today. It is Vintage Sand by Zweigart. I'm using CXC threads, which I am not completely sold on. The oranges are okay. The black is really fluffy. I'm not convinced by it, but because, actually this isn't 16 count, this is 18 count. So because this is 18 count, you can probably see this bit that's hanging, I'm stitching with just one thread. I think if I was doing two threads, that fluffiness might be a bit much, but with the one thread, it's probably okay. So yeah, this is going to keep going. I think I'm on day 16 of her videos at the moment, so I've probably got another 15 videos to go, so that should get a bit more progress. I'm hoping to finish this bit here is reflected here, here and here, and then these bits on the corners are in all four corners, so I'm kind of hoping to get that bit done before her videos end for the Halloween stitching. And every so often, if I get a bit bored doing this, I went up and did this C the other day because I got a bit bored of it. So every so often I might go and do something else, but yeah, I'm really enjoying that. It's really nice to stitch on. The 18 count Aida is lovely actually. Okay, and then what have we got? We've got two more projects to show you. So this is another new start. Gosh, I've just said, sorry, my tablet's doing something weird. Just said I've got too many projects, and now I'm on a fourth new start this month. It's not a month, it's September and October, but still, it's quite a lot. It's my next one. So this is the August Cotton and Twine box. Happy Halloween. I think this one is an in-house design, so designed by the ladies at Historical Sampler Company who run the Cotton and Twine subscription. And the boxes come with the pattern, the kit, the fabric, the threads, finishing materials, a sweet treat, a tea bag, and a little gift as well. So this came with like a little witch that hangs up, which actually I need to get out and hang up somewhere. They've recently changed their subscription option, so you can get the box with all that stuff in that I was just talking about. If you don't want all the stuff, you can just get the kit, and if you don't want the kit, you can just now get the pattern. So you've got a choice. If you subscribe, you don't have to have the box with all the stuff in it every month, and you don't have to have the kit. You can just have the pattern if you like the pattern. And the subscriptions are really good as well because you can skip. So I've skipped a couple of months now. 1 month because I liked the pattern, but I knew that I wouldn't stitch it. This month I just couldn't afford it because of a couple of purchases that I've made. So being able to skip like that is really good, I think. This is in a Yasmin's Made with Love project bag, which is lovely. And this is also in the nerd tube, so I'm also stitching on this regularly at the moment. So, okay, here it is. So I've got this the opposite way to how I normally stitch. Normally I would have the back of my work this side, but I was hoping that the whole pattern would fit inside this nerd tube, but to be able to finish and start threads on the back, it's easier if I've got the flat bit of the nerd tube next to it. So we're stitching like this. It feels a bit weird when I'm doing it, but it seems to be working. So I'm really happy with how this is coming on. My goal for this was to start and finish it in October. So I started it on the 1st of October, and I hope to have it finished by Halloween. We have got half term coming up in the UK soon, and I work in a school, so I will have the week off. So hopefully, even if I've not got as much done as I'd like by then, hopefully then I will have the time to get this finished. And this is a needle minder by the Needle Minder Lady on Etsy. And I was a little bit unsure about this. It's one of those acrylic ones. I wasn't convinced it was going to be that strong, but it is super strong. So I will definitely be buying some more of these from her. As you can see, it's from The Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington. So yeah, gorgeous. So hopefully by Halloween this will be done and shoved in a frame, the one that came with the pack. It won't be well framed because I won't have time to well frame it. It will be probably finished on the morning. Okay, last thing then, also in a hoop, and that unfortunately means you can't see all of it, but I'm not taking it out because I'm stitching on this evening. So let me show you the pattern first. Hang on, where is the picture? There it is. So this is Easter Blooms by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This was a kit that my sister got for my birthday. Is it my sister? My mum? I don't know. Someone bought for my birthday. And it is also on Aida. I don't think I've got anything. Oh, my Spring on Lock Lane, that wasn't on Aida. That's on linen. I think everything else has been on Aida today. So that's where that one is. Super cute. So last time you saw this, I had done the little chick. This time I have completed this flower here and I've started on the flower there. Needle minder came with the kit, and this one I'm stitching on whilst watching Strictly. So tonight while I'm watching Strictly, and tomorrow when I'm watching the results show, I will sit and stitch on this because it is 16 count Aida. It's quite easy to stitch on. It's a nice big colourful chart. So yeah, it's an easy one to do whilst I'm watching TV. And also I decided to have a Strictly project because a few weeks ago I decided I was going to do a Strictly stitching challenge that I think it's the Yorkshire Stitcher on Instagram mentioned, where you choose a project for each dancer, and then things like their scores and whether they go in the dance off, whether they get eliminated, or dictate how many stitches you put on a project. And I sat and sorted it all out. I chose projects for every couple and everything, and then actually realised that I felt completely overwhelmed. It would have meant having like 15 projects out. So I decided to scrap that idea and just have a Strictly project. So this is my Strictly project, and I just work on it Saturday night and Sunday night whilst I'm watching Strictly, making steady progress. I said to you before that I wanted to get this finished by Easter, so I'm hoping to get like a section here, this section here, done in October, and then there's a section there that I'll work on, section there, and hopefully by Easter it'll be finished. Yeah, I'm enjoying that, and that's in a bag that I got as my birthday present as well, Mum's crafty bag. I mentioned on my last video which Etsy shop that was from, so that was in the description box of my last video if you're interested. Okay, need a swig of drink. I've got a dry, itchy throat. I had a cold nearly 4 weeks ago, which cleared up within a couple of days, but I've had a really dry, itchy throat ever since. And then yesterday I started sneezing again. Today I feel snotty, so I think the cold that never went is coming back, which is great. Okay, let's have a look at some haul. I have got a fair bit to show you. One thing I've purchased I can't show you is my new Serious Readers HD daylight technology lamp, floor standing lamp that I bought myself on a whim because something happened personally, and I just thought, you know what, life's too short to sit there worrying about the cost of things and if and when you're going to do something if you really want it. So I just ordered it. My credit card has taken the cost, and I'll pay for it eventually. So that's downstairs, and I'm finding that really good for stitching, actually really good in terms of helping me be able to see. So if you're interested in spending lots of money on a light, Serious Readers are the way to go. Okay, I've got a few bits to show you. So this is an eBay purchase. It's just a pattern out of a magazine, but it's got a peacock on it, and I love peacocks. So I ordered that. It was a couple of quid. I don't know if and when I'll start it, but I loved it. I wanted to have it, so I did. This is from a D-stash on Vinted, so I'll take it out of the packet. It's Waxing Moon Designs. Just get it out of the plastic. Wicked Stitches number 163. So I don't know if this is like maybe a series of patterns that they've done. I think they're quite old because this is like a photograph stuck on the front. So it's 2 patterns in there. That top one says, well-behaved children welcome, the rest will be turned into toads. And the one underneath says, wicked is as wicked does. So I won't be stitching these this year. They're just going to go in my stash and come out at some point in the future, but I really liked those. I think this is really cute. I love that witch's hat. I love the variegation in it. And the cat's really cute, and I like the thing about turning children into toads. I threaten my own children with that if they're not well behaved. So yeah, I would just go and stash for now. It was only a few pound. Thought I would go for it. Oh, do you know, there's one pattern that I forgot to get a picture of. So lovely Ellie at Stitching Bee offered to do an Owl Forest order for a group of us, because obviously Owl Forest is in Russia, so the shipping is quite expensive. So we did a group order which Ellie at Stitching Bee coordinated for us, which was lovely of her, and it finally arrived. It took quite a long time. We had to be very patient, but it arrived recently. So let me just show you the pattern that I bought for. So I've bought the pattern ready for summer, which is this one. So cute. Look at that hippo. Isn't she gorgeous? I love her. And I love all the... Oh, someone's just fired up something noisy outside. I love all the summery outfits around her. She's really cute. So I bought that pattern, and then from Owl Forest I got the threads. So I've got the Owl Forest threads for the pattern. Aren't they beautiful? I bought the more expensive ones. They do 2 different types of thread. They do over-dyed DMCs, and then they do their own ones. And I remember that Sherry at Just So Sherry had their own ones, and she didn't enjoy stitching with them, so I didn't want to take the chance. It's quite expensive. They've come a long way. I wanted to make sure I was going to enjoy them, so I've got the over-dyed DMCs as far as I'm aware. So they're all for stitching that pattern. I've pulled a bit of fabric out of stash, which hopefully you can see is shiny. It's a 32 count snow sparkle snow, something like that, from Zweigart, that I'm going to stitch it on. And I also got the little matching needle minder from Owl Forest Embroidery. Is that focusing? Yeah, she's so cute. I love her. And Ellie sent it all really beautifully packaged, and with a little card as well, which is lovely. So that was really nice. That was good to come home to. particularly life's been a little bit tough around here lately, so that picked me up one day when I really needed it. And then last Sunday I went to knit and stitch at Ali Pally with my mum, so I've got a few bits from there. I went and said hello to Yasmin from Yasmin's Made with Love, and I have made a few purchases from her, but they're my Christmas present from my mum, so I haven't got those to show you, but I did get a pattern, a kit and a bag from her, which I will be able to show you after Christmas. I went and saw the people at Haystack Stitching and bought this bookmark kit. Well, my mum really liked this. My mum's a massive reader, so we bought this and I'm going to stitch it for her. I got it all out this morning to have a go on it and got myself completely confused with the instructions, so I've put it away again for now. I'm going to get it out Monday when I'm at home on my own and I can really concentrate on it. But yeah, it's really sweet, so that was nice. And I also bought from Haystack Stitching this kit. So this is a Christmas jumper kit called 'Tis the Season. It's got little sheep on it. There's a couple of little beads in there on their hats. You can't really see it in the picture. They had this stitched up as a model. They had all of them stitched up as a model. They had a really cute penguin one, but that was sold out, so we went for this one instead. I've been looking at these for a while on their website, so I'm really pleased to have it. And just looking on the back, you've got in the kit obviously the instructions, perforated paper, the needle and threads, but you've also got the felt backing, the coat hanger, the ribbon, embellishments, so literally everything you need to get that done. So yeah, that might come out in December. I reckon I could get that done in a month. Depends how many other things I decide to stitch on. What else did we get? I went and saw Sophie at Sophie Crafts, and where is it? Please hold. Can't find it. I might have to pull out the other thing in a minute. As I get things out, hopefully it will turn up. So I bought this cross stitch kit from Sophie. So Sophie had a competition on Instagram to win tickets to the Knit and Stitch show, and I won the tickets from her. I also won a gingerbread house kit from Sophie last year, which I stitched up just before Christmas. So I've been very lucky with Sophie. Thank you very much, Sophie. So I went and said hi, and I bought this lovely kit. Be Happy. Super cute. This is going to be a gift for somebody. And I did buy a needle minder as well, which I can't find in the bag at the moment, but it might show up at some point. Then I went and saw Trudy from Trudy Ann Designs. They sell as Jeff P. Smith on eBay, and bought, finally, I've got a Stacey Nash animal cracker, which I'm very excited about because everyone's stitching these, and I've got the gorgeous Lily. Let me take her out of her bag. She's glaring at you. There she is. Isn't she sweet? She's so lovely. I've seen some people stitch her with a brighter pink for her dress, and I think I might do the same thing to liven her dress up a little bit. But she's so cute. I won't do this bit with the letters. I am not a fan of stitching letters particularly. But yeah, I look forward to getting her done at some point in the future. Got no plans to start her anytime soon. But I am glad to have her ready and waiting for me. And you know, now I've jumped on the Stacey Nash Animal Crackers bandwagon along with everybody else. I went and saw Zarina from Hawkins Hobbies and bought a little Mill Hill kit, a little owlets kit called Kiwi. I bought Kiwi because my sister sometimes calls me Kiwi instead of Keely, so it seemed appropriate. And I've seen these little owlets a few times now. I think they're super cute. They remind me of Easter, so maybe he'll go on my Easter tree. But yeah, he's lovely. What else? So there's my needle minder from Sophie Crafts. So it's So Mindful cross stitch. So that's probably going to go with the gift that I'm giving. And did I get anything else stitched? Oh yes, I did. I bought some paper box threads. So let me get them out of the packet. So I bought one of their sets. So paper box threads sell like colour packs. I bought the Indian Summer colour pack, which I'm shamelessly copying Laura at Cotton and Clay, because she has just recently finished a pattern using these and it is stunning. She's done a modern folk embroidery pattern. I think it was the exclusive they did for the big stitch in this, and I think the colours are just gorgeous. So I bought the colour pack, and then to go with those I bought a couple of skeins of this colour. It's a really rich blue purple, and I thought that those dropped one, doesn't matter. I thought those together would look really nice, and I'm thinking of doing Long Dog Samplers Gone to Pieces. So it's the one where you've got like the puzzle pieces, different colours. So I thought like each of these colours could be a puzzle piece, and then this dark could be the contrast on like a white or a pale grey fabric. I think that'd be gorgeous. My only worry is whether it's enough thread, and I don't know how to work it out because these are single strands. So the little ones you get 50 meters, which I think, so DMC you get 8 meters, but there's 6 strands. So 6 times 8 is 48. So I think that's about the same as a DMC skein, but these are about 1.5 the thickness of a DMC, so you only need to use 1 strand on like a 28 or 32 count instead of 2, so they should go further. And then these two are 100 meters, so the two together should be about 4 skeins of DMC, again just using 1 strand. I don't know if anyone's got any opinion on whether I've bought enough or not. I'd be really interested to know. I'll probably stitch it on a 32 count to be on the safe side, because that will use less thread. But yeah, if you think I don't have enough, please tell me and I will order some more, because seeing as I've only just bought it, they might still have some of the same dye lot. The only other thing I bought some wool. So this was from Sheep on Mars. I bought 2 of these. The other one's already wound up and being knit into something. And I've got a couple of little minis from, from Dina's Home of Crafts. That's her label. So I've got these 2 colours because I'm collecting minis to make a blanket with, and they're all purples and blues and greens. So I thought they could go in with that. So they were lovely. So yeah, had a lovely little time having a spend up at Knit and Stitch. I would highly recommend it if you're interested in either of those. Well, obviously you're interested in stitching if you're here, but if you're interested in knitting as well, it was great. They had loads of fabric, like loads of sewing things, loads of tools, accessories, lots of places to eat and drink. It's fabulous. I definitely think I might go again next year. And now finally is a big purchase which has gone very dusty because this arrived weeks ago. It is the Historical Sampler Company Advent box for this year. Isn't it lovely? Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous colours. I'm definitely keeping this box and reusing it for something because that is just beautiful. Absolutely love it. So this arrived maybe middle of September. There's a knock on the door and this like delivery man turned up with this huge box. I had no idea what it was because I wasn't expecting this quite so early. So inside we've got a sheet telling us all about the Advent, what's included, that sort of thing. There's a little bag sitting on top. So in here we've got the threads for the projects that are included, a bit of cardboard for backing them, a little bit of fabric for fully finishing. But I'm not going to open it and get the stuff out. I have sneaked a peek in there. And then in the box, let's see if I can hold it so you can see there's lots of lovely parcels. So several of these are little mini kits. like Christmas decoration-y type things, and then other bits and pieces. Sorry. So I'm thinking probably with this I will take pictures when I open it each day, and then maybe every 3 or 4 days put something on Instagram to show you what I've got. And yeah, I'm very excited to have that. I've not had one of those before. I have seen other people sharing theirs before on Flosstube in previous years, so I know it's going to be good, so I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, gosh, it's a mess around me now. Right, last couple of things to show you, and then I'm going to shut up and leave you alone because we are getting close to an hour again. I have a finished knitted item, which is unusual for me. So I've made this cow. This was my aeroplane knitting. I think I might have showed it to you before. It was my aeroplane knitting when I went to Florida last year, and I took it on the plane with me again this year. Didn't finish it on the plane, but I finished it since I come back. So this was a kit from I've forgotten what they're called. I mentioned it in my last video. I'm pretty confident. I'll put it in the description box underneath. It was kit, and yeah, should I put it on quickly? Mess up my hair? Why not? I'll show you inside as well in a minute. Inside's quite funny. So it is really nice and snuggly. That's going to keep me warm in the winter. So yeah, I really love it. It's nice and cozy. It's really soft, but it's not completely finished yet, because when I turn it inside out, I have got all of this hanging out, waiting to be woven in. So that's a job for in front of the telly one day. But yeah, I'm pleased to have that finished. I quite like, I said to my children, I quite like how this top part looks sort of autumnal, and then this part looks a bit more springy, so I could wear it different ways depending what part of the year it is or what colour I'm wearing it with. So yeah, lovely. What are they called? Don't know, can't remember. And I've read this book this month. So I read Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. So Lucy Jane Wood is a booktuber, if I remember correctly. This is her first novel, and it's all about a witch. So I decided that October was a great time to get stuck into this. I got this for my birthday. I asked for it for my birthday. October seemed like a good time, so I started it a couple of days before October, and I finished it a couple of days ago. So it's only took me a couple of weeks to read. And I'm definitely going to be getting her next book. So her next book is called Uncharmed. Definitely going to be getting that. I really, really enjoyed this book. Definitely a 4.5 out of 5. Not a 5 only on the basis that it's a really easy read. For me to give a 5-star, I kind of feel like I need to have learned something from it, or it needs to be a book that's going to sort of live with me for a while. This was fabulous, but it was not that sort of book. But yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's a really, really good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was a good read for this time of year. So there we go. Right, finally, last time I spoke to you, I'd gone over 300 subscribers, so I offered up this lovely chart, Halloween Folkbird from Yasmin's Made with Love, which I showed you earlier, as a giveaway. We didn't have very many entries, so those of you who did enter, you had a really good chance of getting it. I put the names of people who used the keyword bird in their comment in the Tiny Decisions app on my phone, and I spun the wheel, and the winner, which you're not going to be able to see brilliantly because this is a picture of a picture, but the winner was Stitching Bee. Ellie, that's you. Well done. So Ellie, if you could send me your address. I might already have it, actually. I do already have it because it's on the envelope that you sent my Owl Forest stuff in. So I might just send it to you, whether I hear it from you or not. But well done, Ellie. Anyway, Ellie at Stitching Bee, you have won Halloween Folkbird. Well done. And, you know, maybe some point next year we will reach another milestone and have another giveaway. That would be really nice. So if you're not subscribed yet and you have enjoyed my video, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Please give me a like so that YouTube knows that people like my videos and start spreading them out there a little bit more. That'd be great. And if you have enjoyed it, please come back next time, which will probably be early November, which is only a couple of weeks away, but I know I've got a Monday at home with nobody else here early November, so I will probably film again then and let you know what my November plans are. So until then, enjoy your stitching. I hope you all keep safe and well, and I will see you soon. Bye.